I'm Ashton Addison from EventChain for Investmentpitch Media and FinTech News Network. And today on Blockchain Interviews, we have Ian Balina, the CEO and founder of Token Metrics. Ian, thank you so much for being on the show. It's a pleasure to have you here, and it's a pleasure to see you again.
Thank you, Ashton. Happy to be here.
You're very welcome. I'm excited to learn a lot about Token Metrics today. I know it's been growing rapidly. And when I first started following you back in 2017, you had quite the crypto run, which seems to have led into what is now the formal creation of Token Metrics. Could you give a little bit of background to the viewers on how did 2017 go? How did this all start? And how did you get to this point today?
Yes, absolutely. So Token Metrics was born from my earlier ICO analytics spreadsheet, basically bringing a data-driven approach, or what we call the Moneyball approach, to ICO investing. And we learned that was definitely a big need in the market, because at the peak, prior to me taking down my spreadsheet in January 2018, the spreadsheet was being viewed over 1 million times a month by investors all over the world, from retail investors to hedge fund managers and people at well-known crypto funds. To us, that really showed us there was a big need in the market to help people with investment research. But we also realized that the spreadsheet cannot scale. It was just a simple Google Sheets spreadsheet. It cannot scale to past 1 million people. So we said, you know what? Let's now build an actual application. So the first step was building a web application. Then down the road, we plan to build a mobile application. So we've spent the last year and a half building Token Metrics, but also taking everything that we've learned in 2017 and 2018 and saying, how can we make this even better? How can we make this 10 times better, 100 times better? And to us, the obvious answer was we have to look at a lot more data points, not just what humans can manage, but we have to leverage machine learning. And that's really the next evolution of Token Metrics. Is now we're building a platform that uses machine learning to help investors find profitable investments and also filter out scams in the crypto space.
Okay, great. And yeah, machine learning and data is key. And I know that those are two of the foundations of your competitive advantage with Token Metrics. And if I recall, when I was following you, when you had the spreadsheet, you were using some of your expertise that you had learned in IBM and some data analytics to look at standard deviations and the supply of coins and things like that. Is this now flushed out into a machine learning algorithm that you and your team have created specifically for Token Metrics?
Yes, correct. So we're taking that same approach, but scaling this up on a whole different level. So the first step is starting with human capital. So we take my expertise, but we also hired other experts from Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, to bring in their entire brain trust, and we codify that into software. And then we take that software and we add data. We add tons and tons of data from different data sets, both quantitative and qualitative data. So think data from CoinMarketCap, but we also have our experts going through and manually scoring every single cryptocurrency based on fundamental analysis, based on code reviews, based on technical analysis. And we take all this data and we ingest it into the machine learning model. And we're creating custom tailored models for every single cryptocurrency. So right now we have over 100 custom tailored machine learning models for every cryptocurrency, and every cryptocurrency has 4 different models. So in total, we're running over 20 million machine learning models a day. And we don't think anybody out there has done anything quite like this and made this accessible to the average investor. Because our belief is that the future of investing is with machines, it's machine learning. We've seen the same thing happen on Wall Street with quant funds. And for the average investor to compete, there isn't really a tool out there or a platform out there. Unless you are a hedge fund with lots and lots of money to invest into a quant fund or research, you cannot compete. So our idea is to build a platform. We spend millions of dollars of our own money building this, from experimentation to bringing the best team around the world and making this available to the average investor so they have a chance to compete in crypto investing.
Wow, that's great. And you've been refining this for, 2, almost 3 years now, just on the ICO part. But at the same time, the landscape has sort of changed. There used to be a ton of ICOs and startups in 2017, and it seems that there aren't as many now, or maybe there aren't as many good ones, or maybe you're just not hearing about them as much because the hype. Can you talk a little bit about the differences between when you first started and those investment theses that you made then, and looking at it now? I'm not sure if this is just my perspective, but it seems like more people are investing in long-standing cryptocurrency projects that have been around since before 2017 that more have stronger fundamentals coins that have been around since 2014, 2015, versus coins that are just coming out. Whereas it seemed like everything could do well for new coins in 2017, it's been a little bit tougher now. Would you agree?
Yes, yeah, totally agree. I mean, ICOs are no longer in favor anymore, and we've also made that evolution as well. So, for instance, token metrics is not just for ICOs now. Rather, we're looking at cryptocurrencies that are already trading on exchanges, because we answer the question of what coin should somebody invest in at this point in time. So we factor in coins trading on exchanges like Bitcoin, Ethereum, top 20, top 100 in market cap, plus also there's new cryptocurrencies coming in. So, for example, right now, Tokenmetrics has our team has gone through and been able to find projects that have potential before anybody else finds them. So, for instance, we found Synthetics. Synthetics has been one of the best performing coins of this year, but our development team told us that's the top 10 best technology right now in terms of any cryptocurrency. So being able to find early picks like that is something that we think is something that will bring value to investors, even those who aren't really pro ICO, because ICO, IEOs are definitely out of favor. And for us to really have long-term success, we have to expand our entire system to looking at tokens already trading. And that was really the hard part. That's why it took us over a year just putting out the system. But now we think anybody out there, even traders, can take advantage of this platform.
That's great. And with the machine learning algorithms that you guys have created, you mentioned, hedge funds and really large companies may have some products that are sort of competitive like this, but in the cryptocurrency industry and with products that lower the barriers to entry for people that aren't, necessarily accredited investors, or they're just into the crypto space, is there other projects that are doing things similar to token metrics right now?
We haven't really seen anything quite like this. I mean, we have seen a few other competitors, but they aren't really doing anything in terms of machine learning like we are. Either they're doing it by having manual people go through and rate coins, but for us, we haven't seen anybody who's doing this level of detail and also doing this level of back tests and making everything fully transparent. So, for example, if you go into token metrics, we have 30-day price predictions for cryptocurrencies, and we display the accuracy of each model over the course of time. So we're not really trying to hide. So, for example, our model for predicting Bitcoin's price over the last 30 days is over 90% accurate, while our model for predicting Ethereum is about 70-something% accurate. So our goal is to be better than the average investor or trader. If the average investor or trader has a success rate of about 50-something%, something even as low as 70% can help the average investor have that edge.
Definitely. And you mentioned that you're almost competing with quant trading, or you've integrated that into the platform. Can you talk a little bit about, for the newer investors, what are quant funds, what is quant trading, why is it so successful, and how have you integrated that into the platform?
So quantitative trading or investing is essentially just using algorithms and mathematics. Think of it as Wall Street is no longer really depending purely on just regular traders or investors. They're bringing in PhDs from Harvard in mathematics and engineering and physics to find patterns in data. And for example, the best performing Wall Street fund of all time at this point, called the Medallion Fund, is a quant fund. Jim Simon's fund, what was recently featured in a book called The Man Who Solved the Market, he's outperformed Warren Buffett in the last 30 years. He's had an ROI of about almost 40%, while Warren Buffett has had annualized growth of about 20%. So he's beat Warren Buffett by 2 times. And he's not a traditional Wall Street guy. He was working in Boston, former code cracker with the NSA. He said, you know what? We can apply mathematics to investing, because people think markets are efficient, but they aren't really efficient. And he said they're somewhat efficient. They're semi-efficient, but there's still patterns in the data, very, very small patterns. And he's able to find those patterns using math. And Wall Street has now shifted towards being almost purely quant funds. And we think the same thing is happening in crypto. So according to PwC in 2018, while Bitcoin went down 72%, the only crypto funds that made money were quant funds. Quant funds had 8% ROI last year. This is in a bear market. So we think this trend is now coming towards crypto, and the average investor is out of luck unless they can evolve and adapt. And we think we built the platform to help them with that.
That's great. And just to be clear, your platform is more of an educational platform. You guys don't have any licenses to hold people's money or to make trades on their behalf or financial advice. Is it strictly education, or to what extent do you go to helping the members?
So right now, we basically built a data analytics platform, which think of it as Morningstar for crypto. And this is an investment research platform to help investors with their due diligence and research of projects. Now we're in the process of applying to become a SEC registered investment advisor. That's obviously not ready yet, but that's on our roadmap. So we think sometime next year, hopefully, pending SEC approval. The idea is to become a SEC licensed robo advisor. So being able to take users' funds through a qualified third-party custodian approved by the SEC, and almost like a trading bot, but regulated by the SEC.
That's interesting, especially with the SEC coming up with all of these different litigations for different crypto companies for different reasons, and they're still sort of exploring, what's the proper way to go about with startups versus investing in major coins like Bitcoin and Ethereum. So all the best to you guys in growing that. And I'm looking forward to seeing it happen in 2020. And I hope that the market gets a little kick back into it in 2020 for all of us as well. So for the people that are already members of Token Metrics, can you just explain a full picture of, what is it exactly they're seeing, price predictions, they're seeing a few other things right now?
Yes, so when you log into tokenmetrics.com, on the homepage, we give you the best cryptocurrencies at this point in time, looking at several data points, looking at fundamental analysis, looking at code reviews. Our team goes through and manually checks the code of each project, doing automated technical analysis. And we take all these different data points and create one single holistic grade. So for example, in our top 10, we may have projects like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Monero, what have you. But it's kind of like coin market cap, but we're giving you the highest rated cryptocurrencies with the highest potential for growth. So we come from the investor perspective. We're not just giving you price action data. We're giving you, as an investor, in our opinion, based on the data, what projects have the best chance for growth.
Definitely. And, I recall in your 2017 reviews, looking into the team a little bit, and then of course looking into the GitHub and the actual project code, it seemed like a lot of these projects had, $1 billion market cap and like a non-existent GitHub.
Yes. So that's really one of the things we had to create with Token Metrics. We brought in a former IT executive for Goldman Sachs, who was part of the Global Investment Research Division, a developer, also worked with JP Morgan and Barclays with their payments platform, to come in, and he helps us do the due diligence on all these projects' code. So, because as investors, as somebody myself who's made lots of investment in the space, I've had lots of successes, but also lots of failures. More importantly, being able to learn from those failures and bring in other experts around me and our team to help us not make those same mistakes again. So we think we've built that same platform. That's why we have, for each cryptocurrency, we're looking at over 74 different data points. And that's just from the manual, from our team going through and manually rating everything. Then we also add in the automated data points from the machines and the APIs, and then using all of that to have a better perspective on what projects can outperform in the long term.
That's great. And now we're heading into 2020. What are you and your team working on for future integrations and upgrades for the Token Metrics platform?
So right now we're working on optimizing the website for mobile. So being able to, because over half of the world is now mobile. So creating a platform that can scale globally to mobile investors, because not everybody has a computer. And then we're also working on creating an affiliate program, because lots of people have reached out to us saying, hey, we like the platform, we want to share this. Is there any way for us to really kind of share in the success of the platform? So we plan to launch an affiliate program in about a month or so. And just really getting the word out there, helping people leverage machine learning to become better investors, creating educational content for everybody.